Hey guys, today we're going to install and set up a Jellyfin server on Ubuntu Linux. Jellyfin is a free open source media system for managing and streaming media. Now I'm installing this on an Ubuntu server, but I'm connecting to that server from a macOS desktop. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is sudo to root. Now, if you prefer not to sudo to root, you can just prefix all your commands with sudo or most of your commands. But this is how I'm going to do it. Either way works, though, whatever you prefer. All right, so we're going to use curl to pull down a script from jellyfin.org. This is a convenient little script, and we're going to pipe it to bash. And so that's going to download the script and install it all in one command. And that's going to basically install the packages and basically set up and configure everything for us. I sped that up by about 4,000%. So now we're just going to cat out the config file for this new repo that was set up, so that script that we ran, it set up a repo, and you can see here, this new repo points to the jellyfin.org domain, so we're pulling directly from them, not from Ubuntu's repos. So in any case, we are next going to just check the status of the service, and we see that it's active. So it's enabled, it's active. So by default, it just starts the service right up for us, so you don't have to worry about that. And next we are going to just check that we're going to get out of here and we're going to check that the service is actually up and running. I mean, we know that it's up and running. We're just going to take a peek at the process and note here that it's running as the Jellyfin user. So our service is running as a different user called Jellyfin by default. You could change that, but I would recommend just keeping it like that. Now, this is important to note because we're going to have to make sure all of our media is owned by that user. Otherwise, the process won't be able to read it. Or at the very least, it doesn't have to be owned, but you need to give permissions. So next step, we're going to check our IP address. And we're just going to save that for later. We're going to be using that in just a little bit. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to create a data directory. Now we are going to chown this data directory. Now I prefer to chown this as the Jellyfin user, the one that we just looked at just a minute ago, and that should basically that way Jellyfin can access all of that data. Now you could just you could play around with groups or users however you like. This is the way I prefer to do it, and I'm going to do a few other things as well. So we are going to paste this in here. So user mod -a group Jellyfin user 1. So user 1 is the normal user I would SSH to this host as, and it's my ISCP media as that user. So I need to get, I'm adding that user to the Jellyfin group so that user can put media inside the data directory. And I gave the group permission to read, write, and execute on that. On the data directory. So basically all our media that we put inside that data directory, both our regular user and Jellyfin will have full permission to it. Now next thing we're going to do, copy that IP address. Now I'm going to switch over to another window. This is a Firefox browser, and I'm going to paste this right in here. So next we are going to go ahead and add the port on here. So put the IP in, colon, and we're going to explicitly specify the port. It's going to be 8096, and going to hit enter. That's going to bring us to the setup screen, so we don't have a user, no user or password set up yet. So we're going to select English, username. I'm going to change the username. This is the user to log in, not the user that the service runs on, but the user you would use to log into Jellyfin through this web UI, or through any client you happen to use. So set up a user and a password. I'm not going to save it now. Now here we need to add a media library. So we're going to hit add and select content type. You could choose whichever you want here. I'm just going to say mixed because it's good for demo purposes. Come up with a name for it, basically whatever you want to call it, something that's meaningful or whatever you like. In any case, in this case, I'm just calling it media 1, not being super creative. And here you have to select a directory. Now we're going to choose our data directory that we created previously, and then we're going to go ahead and set up some other things. We're going to set up English. We're going to select the United States for the country, and scroll on down here. There are a lot of different options you could choose from if you like. This is all up to your preferences. I'm not going to get into every single one of these. You see it pulls down information from places like the MovieDB and IMDb and stuff like that. And there are a lot of things here you can tweak and mess around with. I'm basically just sticking with the defaults for the most part today, just for demonstration purposes. and yeah, all kinds of things, screen grabber, embedded image extractor, stuff like that. Um, so any case, I'm basically just going to skip all of that, and there we go. We have added one media library. So we're going to go next and say allow remote connections. You kind of need that for this to be useful, and enable automatic port mapping is going to stay off because we don't need that. We don't want to map it outside of our current network. So now we're going to type in our username and our password to log in. So here we're going to click on media and see that there's basically nothing there yet. So we're going to go back and we're going to have to load some media on here. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to our terminal and just drag this other terminal over here. Just going to drag this whole window up here, and this is on my desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and just SCP some files over. So you can do this however you like, however you want to get stuff onto your system. If you want to plug in a USB drive, however you want to copy them, I'm using SCP just as a quick demo. So we're going to SCP these video files here over, and I've sped this up about 8,000%. So this took a little bit longer, but yeah, this is me copying them over file at a time. Basically just copied everything in that directory. Now we're going to copy another movie over just to demo that. I sped that one up as well, obviously. So now we are going to chown all that media. So now we're back in a terminal on our server, and we're chowning all of that media in our data directory as Jellyfin. And now that we've done that, we can see there's still nothing here in our client. So we're going to go refresh metadata for media 1 and say just keep it at the default, scan for new and updated files, and hit refresh. And now when we go in there, we see there's two options. We see Game of Thrones and Office Space, right? So we can go ahead, after refreshing, it now shows a preview for one of them, and then when we go into this folder, it's going to show a preview for all the episodes within this folder. So each one of these is a video file, and we can go back. So and this one over here only has so on the right with Office Space, we only have one movie within the folder. So it just shows the preview for that movie. And yeah, basically when we go back here, it shows latest media, shows the latest things that we were looking at. And yeah, we can go back in here. So if you click on the play button, it's just gonna play it right away. But if you click on the square, it'll bring up this information screen. Shows a little picture previewing the movie and some info about the file, how long it is, the video format. This is actually amazing. I'm surprised at how low the resolution is on that. It still actually doesn't look too terrible. So you get a bunch of settings here. I'm just poking around at the different settings in Jellyfin now. But yeah, I acquired this movie a long time ago, so yeah, it was okay, an okay resolution and encoding then, not so much anymore. So here you can actually, I'm going to go ahead and upload a custom image for my media library. So you can basically change that to whatever you want. So I'm just going to show you how you can do that real quick now. Just some extra stuff you can do. You don't have to do this, obviously. And yeah, there's a picture of me. I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to actually pick something else out. I'm going to pick out a picture of a robot that I have in here. Just an AI generated robot picture. So select that. There we go. We're going to use that as our picture for our media library. And we're going to have to refresh for that to actually show up, and there we go, custom picture. So that's kind of nice. Now, if you found this useful, give me a thumbs up. Definitely want to hit subscribe for more content like this. We do a ton of other great content too. If you want to have great content in your YouTube feed, we cover things like electronics, servers, Linux, Windows, Mac OS, hardware, software, coding, networking, Raspberry Pis, 3D printers, lots of great tech stuff. So if that sounds good to you, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Otherwise, YouTube won't let you know when we come out with new videos. So definitely do that. And if you know something I don't know, or if you have your own experience to share, leave a comment down below. Not just for me, but for the next person who watches this video. And yeah, we want to hear anything you have to say, comments, questions, criticisms, whatever you want to say, we want to hear it. So definitely leave a comment down below. And that's about it for today. So As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on that next video.